Right, so we've got some action coming out on the track shortly. It's the BMWs, and as mentioned, 51 cars will be starting on the grid. The man behind it all, the chairman, Mr. Bernard de Gouveia, he'll be joining me a bit later on. He is currently looking very strong in the D class. Now let's explain to you how this works for the BMW M Performance Pass Race Series. 51 cars there. How do we separate them? Not engine size, not on year of car, which many had thought, but it's rather on your lap time. So if you can do a sub 156 around Kyalami, you're in the A class. If you're doing between 156 and a 202 around this track, you're in the B class. C class is between 202 and 208. D class 208 to 2 minutes 12 seconds rather, and if you're slower than 212, you're going to be in the E class. Now, interestingly, the weekend started out very good for some. Craig Rapp, the number 160, he started out comfortably in the lead in the E class, and they found his time to be far too quick. So, unfortunately, Craig has moved up to the C class, and he didn't disappoint. He's second fastest in the C class. 51 cars will start, and we see them coming around. So they're going to firstly line up. We've got the pace car on the main straight. We'll get the cars lined up. I was being asked, are there 51 grid positions? Well, it is a rolling start, so we don't need to worry about the cars being around the corner, but it is going to be an absolute humdinger. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from some of the drivers a little bit later on. So who are the ones to look out for? Well, the two Loureiro brothers, the Portuguese brothers from Combined Racing. Paulo, he was quickest in free practice 2, but his brother then decided to take the pole position. And Rick Loureiro, the Combined Racing BMW F30 335i. The two brothers will be battling it out. They've got a nice, healthy rivalry, and they'll be the ones to look out for. Cars making their way now around Leeuwkop, coming down the mine shaft. We've got a lot of them to get down to the start line. It's race 2, support race here at the Kyalami 9 hour. Right, all set to go then. The car's coming around the final corner. The pace car is waiting for them. They're going to come around to Ingwe. They're going to try and get some formality. You can imagine 51 cars. Trying to find some kind of formation is going to be tricky, but they're managing to do it. So there they go, come around onto the main straight, past the 9-hour pits, and finding themselves into the right grid positions. Right, the marshals are down there. So let's run through some of the favorites to look out for in this, the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. As mentioned, the round 2 action. And in the A class, these are the cars that have done under 1 minute 56 around Kyalami. We've got the Loureiro brothers. We've got Rick and Paulo who will be on the front row. Alongside them is looked very strong all weekend. The Bidwheels BMW E92 of Leon Loubser. He'll be in 3rd position. On the B class, this is the cars that are between the 156 and the 202 lap times. We've had a strong performance from the likes of Andreas Meyer, who looked good in early free practice. He'll be starting 2nd on the grid because the man on pole position is going to be Lyle Ramsey in the BMW E36 325i. A turbocharged BMW, stunning looking car. He's going to be the man to beat in the B class. 3rd place then in the B class in the first race of the weekend is Ari van der Berg in the BMW E36. The number 12 car is 3rd in the B class. Into your C's, we've got Anwar Alivi. He started in the D class. He was far too quick in free practice, and so they bumped him up into the C class. He's in the Jive Cool Drinks Parkers Parts Center BMW E46. That's the C class leader and the man on pole position. Alongside him, we're going to have Craig Rapp. Craig was one of those drivers who started in the E class. He's moved up to the C class now. It's the NDT. Beautiful BMW E36 328 turbocharged vehicle. He was the man moving up from the C class. And then alongside them, it's Troy Cochran in the Arrow Automotive BMW E36. Right, lots of commotion and noise down there. Everyone trying to find their grid positions. Very hot conditions. You see a lot of the drivers waving their door, trying to find some cool air to get in. Right, in the D class, it was Varish Gunpath in the Grobler Motorsport BMW E46. He's on pole position in the class. You can see a couple of jostling taking place here as everyone tries to find a space. What a sight it is, ladies and gentlemen. 51 BMWs lining up. So Virash is the man on pole in the D class. Behind him, Jaco Storm, who was really out of sorts all weekend but found the pace in the qualifying. The True Wood Furniture BMW E46 328i in second. And third place, Andre Diedrichs, who had a problem early on in the weekend. Unfortunately, didn't run in the opening session. But he's bounced back and sitting third now in the D class. E class, it's Sean Dodd in the BMW E36. Alongside him, it's Dave Roos in the E36 BMW. And then we've got Kobus Boma in the Pep Shield BMW. That's the E90 330i. So we've got a full range of cars here going back, and looking forward to seeing them all getting ready to go. It's quite a scene. Right, we weren't able to cross over to Ricky, my co-presenter, who's down in the pits. She's got one of the drivers who took part in the Comcare Polo Cup. Ricky, are you there? And who have you got with you?
Yes, Gareth, I'm here. Thank you so much. It's been so exciting in the race pits here. And unfortunately, this is always the interview that doesn't want to happen. But I've got Ethan Kutsia here, who came off early. Ethan, I wanted to know, first of all, what happened in this race that you came off early?
Well, so as I was about to start cutting through the field, my electrical started cutting out and the power steering started cutting out, and the whole car just like tenses up, so it was out of control. And obviously, you have to come in for that. You can't race like that.
Yeah, that's not ideal. And I mean, obviously, you've taken a few years off because of a big crash in East London. So is this, you've just come back now and then to come off, how are you feeling about that? Do you think you can come back in race 2?
Yeah, well, it's very disappointing, obviously, and we'll just have to see what happens with the car. We don't know how bad the problem is, so I don't know if I'll be able to make it in race 2.
Okay, well, I mean, from my side personally, I was watching you anyway because I wanted that comeback moment, which will be really cool. So I'm hoping you'll be back in race 2 and and that you can have some fun.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
All right, Gareth, let's see what's happening with you in studio.
Thank you, Ricky. Right, in fact, you can look out for the Comcare Polo Cup Race 2 coming up tomorrow morning at 25 minutes away from 10. Action now turns to the BMW M Performance Parts Series race, and you can see what a lineup we have. In fact, while Ricky was chatting, the front runners took off already. We still got cars crossing the start line because there are 51 BMWs all set to go here for the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. So it's a rolling start. As mentioned, it's round 2 of the championship. 5 classes to look out for: A, B, C, D, E. As the racing is so tight that the drivers have actually changed categories as they get faster and faster. So your A class, just to remind you, they're doing a sub 156. In fact, the pole position around 149, so very quick times from our leaders. The B class between 156 and a lap of 202, so 2 minutes, 2 seconds, you're in the B class. C class from 202 to 208. So if you went free practice and you went for a 201, hey, they're going to push you down. They'll literally just change the sticker on your car and you're into the next class. D class is 208 to 212, and then the E class, there's some stunning cars here. They are any cars that have sub or post or after 2 minutes 12. Starting to see fans pouring in. This is going to be a spectacular one. I can see lots of fans down the kink into Crowthorne getting ready for this, what is going to be a spectacular start to the race. It's the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series, race 1 of the weekend. It's their second round, and just to remind you, tomorrow morning they come up at 25 minutes past 8. Just a quick look ahead to what's coming up for you this afternoon as the cars make their way around through the S's and up to, in fact, they're going through the club at the moment and to the S's. We've got up next a little lunch break, and then we'll be back with GTC and the Super Cup. Robert Volk, the defending champion, has looked very strong all weekend. On the Super Cup side, there's 3 drivers that have thrown their names into the hat. Keegan Campos was Well, he was there, but all of a sudden on pole position, Jonathan Machotsi alongside him, and you can't ever write off Bradley Liebenberg. So those three will be the ones to look out for in a very competitive Super Cup class. So that's up next. We've got Mobile 1 V8's series on the way at 2:20. And then, of course, the big Kyalami 9-hour. Qualifying, all three drivers will be in action. And it's the average time between the top three that will decide their grid positions. BMW M Performance now, parts race series. Cars making their way around the top, up at Leeuwkop. Slowing down for the Mineshaft pace car there. Will peel away as they come down. That's the Mineshaft corner. And then they go straight into the Crocodiles. Then it's Cheetah, and then the famous Ingwe corner. Painted with the South African flag, become an iconic view of the track. Everybody wants their photographs on that corner. So 5 classes to look out for. I'm expecting a runaway victory here for one of the Loureiro brothers, and we're looking forward to chatting to them a bit later. Just to remind you, the chairman of this series, Bernard Gouveia, he's in the D class, and he's going to be joining me just after 2 o'clock this afternoon to tell us about how maybe you can be part of the BMW series. Certainly, seems like everyone is welcome, as 59 cars made their way to the weekend. Only 51, though, on the grid, and looking for a clean race. So drivers now making their way down, and there we go. The pace cars now come into the pits, into the Kyalami 9-hour, the international pits, and we'll see this stunning sight. This is a photograph you're going to want to get, and an amazing moment here at the 9-hour. It's the two Loureiro brothers, Paulo and his brother Rick. They were the quickest. They've been strong all weekend long. And there we go. We're waiting now for the green lights, and it's green, and it's the two brothers. And it looks like it's the older brother that's got the whole shot. Can he hold it all the way down into the first corner? And it looks like they're playing nicely as we welcome in the A-Class. There come some of your B-Class cars now close behind. You'll start to see the gaps being separated from the various different groups. So Rick Loureiro then in the opening lead. He's going through the famous barbecue korma back up at the top next to the support race pits. Leon Loubser has also been strong all weekend, but he hasn't had the pace to keep up with the two brothers. And there we can see a visible gap now opening up. Number 47, Modak, he is up into 4th. Imad Modak also just not having the pace as the two Loureiro brothers, who are now stretching out the lead. We'll start to see some of the different classes mingling now and separating as we go into a timed race. So not a laps here. We're not saying 10 laps. We're going to timed race. 24 minutes left in this one. It's a rolling start there for round 2 of the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series here at stunning Kyalami. It's a race 2 of the session for this afternoon in the support races. And ready, the front runners up at Leeuwkop. So some of the stories here, of course, in this event have been all about the locals coming to support, showcasing their talents, investing themselves into their cars as the brothers play nicely going into the Crocodiles. That corner has been known to bite a little bit this weekend, or this week so far. Into the B class, so far we've got Ramsey number 116. No surprise there, he's been strong all along throughout the weekend. The 116 Lyle Ramsey in the BMW E36. As we can see, our leaders coming through the pits on the main straight past the international pits. So Ramsey up leading the B class in second place. It's Andreas Meyer, the number 2 BMW. He's got the E36 there in second place. In fact, we've had a change of lead there going into the final corner, and it is now the 12, the Ori van der Berg BMW E36 up into second place. So let's just give you an update there. C-Class, it's number 45. It's Anwar Levy, who's dominated all weekend in the D-Class. He was bumped up to C-Class, and he's leading there as well. So it's the second race of the weekend for the support races. The first race was the Comcare Polo Cup, and race victory was with Davy van der Merwe. Ricky's down in the pits and chatting to the Nathan's Motorsport Polo GTR driver. All right, so we'll touch base there with Ricky, who's with the race winner from our opening race, the CompCare Polo Cup, in a short moment. Let's give you some more updates of what's happening in the rest of the classes. In the D class, it's the 73. He's looked strong all weekend long, and that is Andre Diedrichs in the BMW E30 330i Turbo, who's currently, in fact, he started the weekend with a bit of a problem. We've got doubled waved yellows, and that's going to slow the field right down now, unfortunately. We're going to be crossing over to Ricky in a short while. And unfortunately, we've got a car that's got a problem there on the pit lane straight for the support races. He's climbed out. Are they going to be able to recover that car? All right, we're going to keep you posted. We're going to cross over now into the support race pits with Ricky, who's down with our race winner from the CompCare Polo Cup. We'll continue to try and chat to Ricky, who's down in the support race pits, and give us some update. We're hoping to chat to the race winner from the 27th opening race of the season for the CompCare Polo Cup. All right, apologies there, folks. It seems that we've got a bit of a break in the connection there. We'll try again with Davy van der Merwe, our opening race winner in the CompCare Polo Cup. It's BMW M Performance Parts Race Series are underway, and it's the two Laruro brothers still comfortably in the lead. Rick ahead of his brother Paulo, the two Portuguese. They've got a nice, healthy rivalry, and Rick leading now 3.5 seconds ahead. Leon Loepscher is 10 seconds back, just shows the domination of the two brothers from the combined racing team. Let's continue then with your updates as to what's been happening. Doesn't look like that incident coming out of barbecue is going to have an impact on the race, so we continue. 19 minutes left to go, in race one of the weekend. It's the second round of the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. So let's keep you updated. E-Class, the cars that are just over 2 minutes 12 in their lap times. And it's the number 88 that's currently leading that class, the E-Class. And that is Ari van Heerden in the VTEC Motorsport BMW E97. Hot on his tail, there's a very close race there, is the 735 of David Rees, the BMW E36 328i. He's been second all weekend long, and he's just 0.1 second behind. So traffic may having a little impact there, because we've got a D-Class rider in between them, which could help one of them. The 514 of Kobus Boma, still the Pep Shield BMW E90, sitting in third place in the class. So 51 cars started. We're down to 50 at the moment. Unfortunately, one of our cars going off just after the barbecue corner. And it's the Leroux brothers still leading the way. In fact, Rick just putting the fastest lap, a 148.9. Wow, that's a quick time. So into the 48s now, first time for the weekend for Rick Lariro in the BMW F30 335i. Just looking down the field, the quickest of the B class is Ramsey in that BMW E36, and he's looking strong in 6th place and putting in sub 2-minute laps constantly. Andreas Meyer is second there in the BMW E36. And there we can see the stricken car coming out of the barbecue corner. Of course, no overtaking in that area as the cars dive into sunset. Right into Club 3 abreast coming through there. Different classes together, making their way around to the S's. We've got 17 minutes left here at the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. Definitely going to be one of the favorites. Oh, and we've got it is a big crash coming out. That's certainly going to stop the race or bring out the double yellows. Wow, that was at quite a speed, and it looked like it was... Is it our race leader? It's a massive impact. No, it's further back, in fact. So it looks like the 21 was involved as well. So this is further back in the field. It looked like one of the Loriro brothers that was going off there, but it wasn't. It was a bit further back in the field. And that's a large crash coming into the first corner at Crowthorne. That's certainly going to bring out the safety car. And here we go, confirmation from the safety car. So huge impact there onto Crowthorne as the car's gone straight on. Right, we're going to cross over to the pits. Ricky is down there. We hope to chat to our race winner from the Comcare Polo Cup. It's Davy van der Merwe.
Thank you so much, Gary. Yeah, I'm here with a very excited Davy van der Merwe, and very understandably so. In free practice, you were third and fourth. You qualified second, and then all of a sudden you decided that this is your race and you're going to take it. Take me through your thought process.
Yeah, luckily we had a good start, so we just had to manage from there. The safety car helped us definitely. For 3 laps we could have just cooled down the car and just pushed from there. So yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be tricky. Luckily we've managed the tires quite good for tomorrow. So yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow and just work from there.
So no pressure, but you think you're going to be able to do it again tomorrow? I mean, I know we're hoping so, obviously, but what are your thoughts on how possible that's going to be?
I think we'll see when the lights go out. So I think that's our only hope for tomorrow. But yeah, looking forward and yeah, just see what we can do.
Amazing. I'm very excited to see. You know, the one thing is that you were on the track. You were going third, fourth, you know, and I was kind of keeping an eye on you to see if you'd be able to take over Schalfisser, but you managed to do that. So I'm really excited to see if you're going to do it tomorrow as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ricky. Davy van der Merwe there picking up the opening race weekend victory in the Comcare Polo Cup. The Comcare Polo Cup, a breeding ground of amazing stars of South African motorsport. Think of the van der Lindes who've come through there. We had chatted to Tasman Pepper a bit earlier on. And certainly one of these names could be there alongside some of the greats of South African motorsport. And could be Davy van der Merwe in the Northern Motorsport GTI. So their race tomorrow coming up for you at 9:35. Right, we've got full course yellow. We've got 2 cars on the track that would need to be removed. The one is on the support race pit straight. The second, unfortunately, going on in quite a heavy collision on Crowthorne. And there we can see it. In fact, folks, it is the 126, and that is Rick Loriro. It looked like it when I did the opening race. In fact, when they first saw the scenes of the accident, it looked like Rick's car. And there we go, confirmation that the man who was leading is now out. And it's a heavy impact, and that's trying to recover. I haven't seen him get out the car just yet, but big drama here in the opening race of the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series. For round 2, it's the opening race of the weekend. And the 51 cars dwindling down. We started with 59 on Wednesday. A couple of cars unfortunately having problems and had to pull out, and we're down now to 50. In fact, another 2 cars out, so more changes coming here. But fantastic to see the fans coming out to support lots of lovers of BMWs, and lovely to see. And it is a red flag. Confirmation there that the race will be stopped now with 13 minutes to go. Not sure that we'll be able to get back for a continuation of this one. So let's give you an update as to where the positions are before we went into that incident. So we've got the brother Paulo Loriro in first, ahead of Leon Loubser, the 66 in second. The 146 then promoted up into third in the A class. The 146, that is Leighton Fourie in the Express Hire BMW F30. In the B class, it's still the 116 of Lyle Ramsey, the E36 325i Turbo. He's looking very strong all weekend long. Almost pushing onto the pace of the A class, but he's leading the B class. Second in class is the 12, and that is Van der Berg in the BMW E36 M3 Turbo. In third place in class is Andreas Meyer, who's fallen back a little bit. He's now currently sitting in third in the B class. That's the BMW E36 STC. In your C class, these are your drivers who are posting lap times between 2:02 and a 2:08 around Kyalami. We've got the 27 of Hilligan, who's Alan Hilligan, currently leading the way. So he's really not been in the front running at all this weekend. So that's a fantastic result for the BMW E46. Van der Merwe, the 94, then in second place. The 94, Hein van der Merwe. The E36 in second. And 75 then, it's De Wit Oosthuizen and the shared tracking BMW E92 in third place in the C-Class. And there we go. We're going into the pits now for our drivers with 13 minutes to go. And a tight schedule here. We might not get back racing for this first race. I'll continue then just giving you updates as the various classes. Of course, in the D class, it was the 330 of Manny Ribeiro there in the BMW Car Club Gauteng in the BMW E46. That's second in class, and third is the 36 class, third in class there. And that is Farhan Ibrahim, the car collector. Right, we're crossing over to Ricky in the pits. Ricky, what have you got for us?
Okay, so I've got Andre Diederik's here, who came off early. He came second in the last race at Zwartkorp. So what has happened? I'm sure it's quite disappointing, but you seem very calm and happy, so I'm happy to see that.
Well, at least the car was running while I was coming in. But on the track, it just died down, and I was actually gained a lot of positions. I started 32nd, and I'm sure I was up to about 15th or somewhere. But yeah, I don't know what happened. It just cut out, and I had to come in. I'm coming from Cape Town, so I would like to take the car back in one piece. So yeah, it is a fun day, great day at Kyalami, and we thank all the people involved for the sponsors and everybody for having us on this day. It's really, for us racers, it's a great time to be out here and to enjoy the track. This is a first class track. This is world class. So to race here, it's really a privilege.
Yeah, I think it's great that obviously you can still enjoy the experience, even though something like this has happened. You do have another chance tomorrow. So hopefully that will be a better outcome.
Well, even if I push the car out of the pits tomorrow, I will start. I'm still trying to do something and I love it. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back tomorrow.
That's amazing. I love that. That's definitely what life's about, living it to the fullest, doing what makes your heart happy, and just your smile just makes me happy. So I can't wait to see you tomorrow, and I'll chop with him and see what.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ricky. So there we go. Confirmation of, ladies and gentlemen, the race has ended now. There's not going to be enough time to restart the race. I've got a little view down at Crowthorne, the first corner, where our leader, Rick Leriro, unfortunately has gone straight on, and they are trying to recover that car. Of course, hitting the barriers, safety comes first, and so they'll want to make sure that that is all sorted. So disappointment then for the Leriro brothers, who really we're hoping to dominate. They have dominated all weekend long. So we've got unofficial results then coming through with Leriro. He's the younger brother, Paulo, who's now taken the race victory. Unfortunately, just 5 laps into that race, and with the tight schedule, we won't be able to restart. In second place, it's Leon Loubser in the 66. The 66 of Leon Loubser, the Bidwheels E92 BMW in second overall. And it's going to be the 146 of Fourie, the 146 of Leighton Fourie, the Express Hire BMW F30. He's going to finish a third on the podium. Of course, a bit later on, we've got Bernard de Gouveia. He's chairman of the BMW M Performance Parts Race Series, who's going to come and join me just after 2 o'clock to give us a little update as to this exciting growing series. Well, 59 cars arriving this weekend. We were down to 51 at the start of the race, and unfortunately, 2 or 3 more casualties at the moment.